Hello everyone, welcome to an exciting journey into a fictional world. Today we're diving into a scenario where moths, those tiny light-loving creatures, don't just survive, but evolve dramatically to become the dominant species on Earth, taking the place of humans. Have you ever wondered what would happen if moths with their delicate wings rose to rule the planet? In this video, we'll explore their incredible evolutionary journey, how they build their own society, and the impact they'd have on the world. Let's get started. Why moths? Why would these tiny insects take over the world? Moths are far more extraordinary than they seem. With over 160,000 species, they thrive in nearly every environment. Deserts, mountains, forests, you name it. Their camouflage is next level, letting them blend into trees or rocks to dodge predators. They reproduce at an astonishing rate, with a single moth laying hundreds of eggs, ensuring their survival even in the toughest conditions. Their knack for sensing light and using pheromones for communication gives them a unique edge. Compared to humans who rely heavily on technology and complex systems, moths have a raw, adaptable resilience that could outlast us in a crisis. Picture a global catastrophe. Maybe a climate collapse, a meteor strike, or a supervolcano eruption wipes out most of humanity. Our cities crumble, our resources vanish. But moths? They keep fluttering along, unbothered. Their small size means they need little to survive, and they can feed on plants altered by pollution or radiation, giving them a leg up when the world turns upside down. In this fictional scenario, such a disaster sets the stage. Moths don't just endure, they seize the opportunity. Over thousands of years, they evolve in ways we can barely imagine, setting the foundation for a world where these once humble creatures become the new rulers of Earth. Now that the stage is set, let's dive into the incredible evolutionary journey of moths as they rise to dominate the planet. In a world reshaped by catastrophe, where humanity has faded, moths don't just survive, they transform. Over thousands, then millions of years, they undergo a series of remarkable changes, turning from delicate insects into the architects of a new Earth. This isn't just about bigger wings or brighter colors, it's about a complete overhaul of their biology, behavior, and society. Picture a timeline stretching across eons, where moths evolve through three distinct phases: superior, adaptation, societal construction, and global domination. First, let's talk about adaptation. In the post-catastrophe world, the environment is brutal. Think toxic air, scorched landscapes, and unpredictable weather. Moths, already masters of survival, take it to the next level. Their bodies begin to change. Some species develop thicker exoskeletons, resistant to chemical pollutants that would kill most other creatures. Others evolve enzymes in their digestive systems, allowing them to feed on plants laced with toxins or even synthetic materials left behind by human civilization, like degraded plastics. Size becomes a game changer. While most moths stay small to conserve energy, certain species grow larger, some as big as sparrows or even hawks, to fend off predators or compete for resources. Their wings, once fragile, become tougher, lined, with microscopic structures that can deflect heat or absorb solar energy for warmth in colder climates. But the real leap happens in their brains. Moths develop more complex neural networks, enabling problem-solving and memory. Their pheromone communication, already sophisticated, evolves into a proto-language. Imagine a moth flapping its wings to release chemical signals that convey not just danger or mate here, but detailed instructions like meet at the glowing tree at dusk. This chemical speech allows them to coordinate in ways no insect has before, setting the foundation for something bigger. Next comes the societal phase. As moths adapt, they don't just live as lone survivors, they start building communities. Picture vast colonies like anthills or beehives, but on a scale never seen before. These aren't random gatherings, they're organized hierarchical societies. Certain moths take on specialized roles: scouts to find food, builders to craft shelters, and sentinels to ward off threats. Their silk, once used only for cocoons, becomes a revolutionary tool. Moths spin intricate webs to create shelters that withstand storms or trap prey. Some colonies even cultivate bioluminescent fungi, using the glow to attract smaller insects as food or to light their communal spaces. These structures aren't just functional, they're beautiful, shimmering like organic chandeliers in the twilight. Communication drives this society forward. Pheromone signals evolve into complex patterns, almost like a Morse code of sense, allowing moths to share knowledge across generations. One colony might learn to avoid a toxic plant, passing that wisdom to others through chemical stories. Over time, these colonies grow into networks, connecting across forests and wastelands. They trade resources, silk for food, or protection for information, forming the first moth economies. It's not human civilization, but it's a system of order, cooperation, and innovation, all driven by creatures once dismissed as pests. Finally, moths achieve global domination. As their societies expand, they outcompete other species. Their rapid reproduction ensures their numbers swell, overwhelming predators like birds or bats, which either adapt to serve the moths or die out. Some moth species even domesticate smaller insects, using them as laborers or food sources, much like humans once herded cattle. Their silk structures evolve into sprawling moth cities, vast interconnected webs stretching across valleys, glowing softly with bioluminescent light. These cities aren't just shelters, they're ecosystems. Moths cultivate plants for food, manipulate water flows with silk channels, and even farm other insects for protein. Their chemical communication becomes so advanced that it rivals early human language, allowing them to plan large-scale projects like redirecting rivers or clearing forests for new colonies. They don't use fire or metal, but their organic technology, silk, pheromones, and bioluminescence proves just as effective. Moths become the ultimate apex species, reshaping the planet to suit their needs. Predators that once hunted them now cower or serve. Plants evolve to attract moths, producing scents that mimic their pheromones. The earth itself transforms, its landscapes draped in shimmering silk, its skies buzzing with wings. Moths don't just survive the new world, they own it. This transformation raises fascinating questions. Are moths better stewards of the planet than humans were? Their societies, built on cooperation and minimal resource use, seem sustainable, but their relentless expansion could destabilize ecosystems. Unlike humans, they don't rely on finite resources like fossil fuels, but their sheer numbers might strip the land bare. Their intelligence, while impressive, lacks the self-awareness that led humans to both greatness and ruin. Could moths develop art, philosophy, or conflict on the scale of human wars? Their world is alien yet familiar, a mirror of what might have been if evolution took a different path. As we watch these tiny creatures build their glowing cities, we can't help but wonder, is this a utopia or a new kind of chaos? The journey of the moth shows us that any species, given the right conditions, can rise to rule, and that the line between pest and master is thinner than we think. With moths now ruling the earth, let's step into their world, a planet reshaped by these once humble insects. Picture a landscape unlike anything we know. Sprawling cities woven from silk, glowing with bioluminescent light and buzzing with the constant flutter of wings. These aren't human cities with concrete and steel, but organic metropolises, alive and shifting, built to suit the needs of their moth overlords. The air hums with complex pheromone signals, carrying messages across vast distances, while the ground is carpeted with webs that trap prey or channel water. This is a world where moths have not only survived, but crafted a civilization as intricate and awe-inspiring as any human empire. Let's explore what this moth-dominated Earth looks like, how their society functions, and how they interact with the remnants of the old world. The first thing you notice in a moth city is the architecture. These aren't static structures, but living, breathing networks of silk. Towers of woven threads rise hundreds of feet, flexible yet strong, swaying in the wind without breaking. Some resemble massive spiderwebs, stretched between ancient trees or the ruins of human skyscrapers, now crumbling under layers of moss and silk. Others are dome-like, hollowed out to house thousands of moths in communal chambers, bioluminescent. Fungi carefully cultivated, line the interiors, casting an eerie glow that mimics moonlight, a nod to the moth's ancient love for light. These cities pulse with activity. Worker moths scurry along silk pathways, carrying bits of plant matter or tiny insects to feed the colony. Sentinel moths, larger and armed with sharper mandibles, patrol the edges, ready to fend off rogue predators. At the heart of each city lies a beacon, a massive cluster of glowing fungi or concentrated pheromone emitters that serves as both a communication hub and a cultural landmark. Moths gather here for rituals, releasing synchronized bursts of pheromones in what might be their version of music or prayer, a mesmerizing dance of scent and light. Moth society is a marvel of organization. Their hierarchy is rigid yet efficient, with roles determined by genetics and reinforced by chemical signals. Smaller, agile moths act as scouts, venturing into the wild to find new resources, plants, water, or weaker insects to exploit. Larger moths, evolved for strength, handle construction, weaving silk into ever-expanding structures. At the top are the signalers, a caste of moths with hyper-developed pheromone glands, capable of coordinating entire cities with a single chemical burst. These leaders don't rule through force, but through influence, their sense guiding the colony's every move. Cooperation is key, but conflict isn't absent. Rival colonies sometimes clash over territory, releasing aggressive pheromones to disorient enemies or weaving traps to ensnare invaders. These battles are less about destruction and more about dominance, with losing colonies often absorbed into the victor's ranks. It's a society that values efficiency over individuality, yet there's a strange beauty in its unity, a collective mind driven by instinct and adaptation. How do moths interact with other species? In their world, they're the undisputed apex. Predators like birds or bats have either gone extinct or evolved to serve the moths, perhaps as pollinators or scavengers cleaning up their waste. Smaller insects like beetles or ants are often domesticated, herded into silk pens to produce food or labor. Some moths have even developed symbiotic relationships with plants, cultivating species that emit pheromones to attract them, ensuring mutual survival. The ecosystem bends to their will. Forests are reshaped into silk-draped canopies, optimized for moth habitation. Rivers are diverted by silk dams to irrigate their fungal farms. The remnants of human civilization, rusted cars, collapsed bridges, are overtaken by webs, turning our relics into moth infrastructure. Yet, not all is harmonious. The moth's relentless expansion can strip landscapes bare, leaving deserts where forests once stood. Their efficiency comes at a cost, raising questions about whether they're truly better stewards than humans. Culturally, moths have their own alien traditions. Light remains sacred, a holdover from their ancestral instincts. Major rituals center around light dances, where thousands of moths swarm around bioluminescent beacons, their wings creating patterns visible from miles away. These events might celebrate successful harvests, territorial victories, or seasonal changes. Pheromone communication has evolved into an art form, with certain moths crafting unique scent combinations as a form of expression, like poets weaving words. While they lack the self-awareness of humans, there's a proto-culture here rooted in instinct but rich with meaning. Compared to human society, moth civilization is less individualistic but more resilient. They don't have art galleries or novels, but their cities glow with a beauty that rivals any human creation. They don't wage wars for ideology, but their territorial disputes show a fierce drive to survive. It's a society that feels both familiar and utterly foreign, a testament to what evolution can achieve when given a chance. What's striking is how moths have inverted the human world. Where we built with stone and fire, they build with silk and light. Where we sought to conquer nature, they integrate with it, bending ecosystems to their needs without destroying them outright. Yet, their dominance isn't perfect. Their rapid reproduction and resource consumption could lead to collapse if not balanced. Their intelligence, while advanced, lacks the introspection that drove human innovation and mistakes. This world forces us to reflect. Is a moth-ruled Earth a utopia of efficiency or a cautionary tale of unchecked growth? As we imagine their glowing cities and pheromone symphonies, we see a planet reborn, not better or worse than ours, but profoundly different. A reminder that any species, given the right twist of fate, can reshape the world in its image. As we stand in awe of the moth-ruled Earth, with its shimmering silk cities and pulsating bioluminescent glow, it's time to reflect on the broader implications of their dominance. What does a world shaped by moths mean for the planet's ecosystems, its future, and our understanding of what it means to rule? Are these tiny creatures, once fluttering mindlessly toward porch lights, better stewards of Earth than humans ever were? Or do they bring their own brand of chaos, repeating some of our mistakes in their alien way? Let's dive into the impacts of their reign and the lessons we can draw from this imagined world, where moths have woven a new tapestry of life. First, consider the ecological impact. Moths have transformed the planet to suit their needs, and their efficiency is staggering. Their silk cities require minimal resources compared to human metropolises. No coal, no steel, just organic materials like silk and fungi. Their bioluminescent lighting eliminates the need for energy-hungry power grids. By integrating with ecosystems, cultivating plants that attract them or domesticating smaller insects, they've created a web of interdependence that seems, at first glance, sustainable. Their small size and rapid reproduction allow them to thrive in environments humans would find unlivable, from toxic wastelands to barren deserts. They've turned ruins into habitats, draping human relics in silk to create new ecosystems. Forests, once clear-cut by humans, are now canopies of webs, teeming with life tailored to moth survival. Rivers, redirected by silk dams, irrigate fungal farms that feed millions. This is a world where nature bends to the moth's will, but it's not plundered in the way human industry often ravaged the earth. Yet this harmony comes with caveats. The moth's relentless expansion mirrors humanity's own flaws. Their colonies spread rapidly, consuming vast amounts of plant matter to fuel their growth. Entire forests can be stripped bare to support a single city, leaving deserts in their wake. Their domestication of other insects, while efficient, disrupts food chains. Birds and bats, unable to compete, face extinction or servitude. The moth's focus on efficiency prioritizes their survival over biodiversity, risking long-term ecological collapse. Unlike humans, they lack the self-awareness to recognize these limits, driven purely by instinct and adaptation. Their pheromone-driven society ensures cooperation, but it also stifles dissent or innovation that might challenge their trajectory. Could this lead to overpopulation or resource depletion? Possibly. Their world is sustainable in the short term, but without a mechanism to self-regulate, they might repeat humanity's mistake of taking too much, too fast. Now, let's explore the philosophical implications. The moth's rise forces us to question what dominance means. Humans ruled through technology, art and ideas, but also through destruction, wars, pollution, deforestation. Moths rule through unity and adaptation, their society a seamless machine of instinct and chemical signals. They don't have philosophy or poetry, but their light dances and pheromone songs carry a beauty that echoes human culture in an alien way. Their world lacks the individualism that drove human innovation, but also our conflicts. Is this better? It depends. Their collective mindset avoids the greed that plagued humanity, but it also lacks the creativity to dream beyond survival. Their cities glow with organic splendor, but they don't build museums or write histories. They've mastered the planet without mastering themselves, raising a profound question. Is true dominance about reshaping the world or understanding your place in it? For us, the moth world offers a mirror to our own history. Their adaptability highlights a lesson humans often ignored. Survival demands flexibility. Moths thrived because they could eat toxic plants, withstand harsh climates, and communicate across vast distances. Humans, tied to rigid systems, cities, economies, technologies, crumbled when those systems failed. The moths remind us that resilience, not power, is the key to enduring change. Their organic technology, silk, bioluminescence, pheromones, shows that progress doesn't require destruction. Humans mined mountains and burned forests. Moths weave and cultivate, yet their potential for overexpansion warns us that even the most adaptable species can tip the balance. Sustainability isn't just about surviving today, but ensuring tomorrow's resources remain. The moth's world, for all its brilliance Old Testament beauty, is a cautionary tale about unchecked growth. This imagined world also sparks a broader reflection. Any species, given the right conditions, can rise to rule. Moths, once dismissed as pests, became Earth's masters through chance and adaptation. This challenges our human-centric view of dominance. We assumed our intelligence made us inevitable rulers, but the moths show that evolution is unpredictable. A single catastrophe shifted the balance, letting a lesser creature take the stage. It's humbling, a reminder that our reign was not guaranteed, and neither is theirs. What if another species, like spiders or fungi, gets its turn next? The moth story isn't just a fun thought experiment. It's a lens to view our fragility and the impermanence of power. As we marvel at their glowing cities and pheromone symphonies, we're left with an open question. Is this moth world a utopia of efficiency or a new kind of imbalance? They've built something extraordinary, but their lack of introspection might doom them to repeat our errors in their own way. Their story is a call to reflect on our choices, how we adapt, how we build, and how we balance survival with stewardship. It's a world where light is sacred, silk is strength, and moths are kings. What can we learn from their rise, and what would we do differently if given another chance? And so we reach the end of our journey into a world ruled by moths, a shimmering, alien Earth where silk cities glow under bioluminescent skies and pheromone symphonies guide a civilization of wings. We've traced their rise from tiny, light-chasing insects to the planet's dominant species, a transformation sparked by catastrophe and fueled by relentless adaptation. Through their evolution, we saw them grow larger, smarter, and more organized, weaving societies as complex as any human empire. Their cities, built from silk and light, reshaped ecosystems, while their chemical language united them in ways we can only imagine. We explored the beauty of their world, its delicate balance of efficiency and expansion, and the questions it raises about what it means to rule. Are moths better stewards than humans, or are they doomed to repeat our mistakes in their own fluttering way? Their story is a mirror, reflecting both our potential and our flaws. This imagined world leaves us with much to ponder. The moth's triumph shows that any species, given the right twist of fate, can seize the reins of Earth. Their resilience, thriving in toxic wastelands, feeding on what others couldn't, teaches us that adaptability is the ultimate strength. Their organic technology, from silk dams to glowing fungi, reminds us that progress doesn't have to mean destruction. Yet, their unchecked growth warns of the dangers of taking too much, too fast. As we marvel at their glowing cities, we're left wondering, could we, like the moths, find a way to live in harmony with our world? Or are we too tied to our own ways? Their story isn't just a fantasy. It's a challenge to rethink how we build, survive, and dream. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you make of this imagined world? Could this civilization endure, or would it collapse under its own weight? If you could choose another species to rule Earth, what would their world look like? Share your ideas in the comments below. I'm excited to see what you come up with. If you enjoyed this exploration, please like and share the video. It really helps spread the word. Subscribing keeps you in the loop for more thought-provoking content like this. Next up, we're diving into another wild scenario about a different species taking over. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep imagining and keep exploring.